Requiem, 1935 through 1949, by Anna Akhmatova. No, not under the vault of alien skies, and not under the shelter of alien wings. I was with my people then. There, where my people, unfortunately, were. 1961. Instead of a preface, in the terrible years of the Years of Terror, I spent 17 months in the prison lines of the Leningrad. Once, someone recognized me. Then a woman with bluish lips standing behind me, who, of course, had never heard me called by name before, woke up from the stupor to which everyone had succumbed and whispered in my ear. Everyone spoke in whispers there. "Can you describe this?" And I answered, "Yes, I can." Then something that looked like a smile passed over what had once been her face. April 1st, 1957, Leningrad. Dedication. Mountains bow down to this grief, mighty rivers cease to flow, but the prison gates hold firm, and behind them are the prisoners' burrows and mortal woe. For someone a fresh breeze blows, for someone the sun luxuriates. We wouldn't know. We are those who, everywhere, hear only the rasp of hateful key and the soldier's heavy tread. We rose as if for an early service, trudged through the savage capital, and met there, more lifeless than the dead. The sun is lower and the neva mistier. But hope keeps singing from afar, the verdict, and her tears gush forth. Already she is cut off from the rest, as if they painfully wrenched life from her heart, as if they brutally knocked her flat. But she goes on, staggering, alone. Where now are my chance friends of those 2 diabolical years? What do they imagine is in Siberia's storms? What appears to them dimly in the center of the moon? I am sending my farewell greeting to them. March 1940. That was when the ones who smiled were the dead, glad to be at rest. And like a useless appendage, Leningrad swung from its prisons. And when, senseless from torment, regiments of convicts marched, and the short songs of farewell were sung by locomotive whistles, the stars of death stood above us, and innocent Russia writhed, under bloody boots and under the tires of the black Marias. 1. They led you away at dawn. I followed you like a mourner. In the dark front room the children were crying. By the icon's shelf the candle was dying. On your lips was the icon's chill. The deathly sweat on your brow. Unforgettable. I will be like the wives of the Streltsy, howling under the Kremlin towers. 1935. 2. Quietly flows the quiet dawn. Yellow moon slips into a home. He slips in with cap askew and sees a shadow yellow moon. This woman is ill. This woman is alone. Husband in the grave, son in prison. Say a prayer for me. No, it is not I. It is somebody else who is suffering. I would not have been able to bear what happened. Let them shroud it in black, and let them carry off the lanterns. Night, 1940. 4. You should have been shown, you mocker, minion of all your friends, gay little sinner, the Sarkoya Silo. What would happen in your life? How 300th in line, with a parcel, you would stand by the Kretsy prison. Your fiery tears, burning through the New Year's ice. Over there the prison popular bends, and there's no sound. And over there how many innocent lives are ending now. 5. For 17 months I've been crying out, calling you home. I flung myself at the hangman's feet. You are my son and my horror. Everything is confused forever, and it's not clear to me who is a beast now, who is a man, and how long before the execution, and there are only dusty flowers, and the chinking of the censer, and tracks from somewhere to nowhere, and staring me straight in the eyes, and threatening impending death, is an enormous star. 1939. 6. The light weeks will take flight. I won't comprehend what happened. Just as the white nights stared at you, dear son, in prison. So they are staring again with the burning eyes of a hawk, talking about your lofty cross and about death. 1939. 7. The sentence. And the stone word fell on my still living breast. Never mind, I was ready. I will manage somehow. Today I have so much to do. I must kill memory once and for all. I must turn my soul to stone. I must learn to live again. Unless summer's ardent rustling is like a festival outside my window. For a long time I've foreseen this brilliant day, deserted house. June 22nd, 1939, Fountain House. 8. To death. You will come in any case, so why not now? I am waiting for you, I can't stand much more. I put out the light and opened the door for you, so simple and miraculous. So come in any form you pleased, burst in as a gas shell, or like a gangster steal in with a length of pipe, or poison me with typhus fumes, or be the fairy tale you've dreamed up, so sickeningly familiar to everyone, in which I glimpse the top of a pale blue cap and the house attendant white with fear. Now it doesn't matter anymore. The Yenisei swirls, the North Star shines, and the final horror dims the blue luster of beloved eyes. August 19th, 1939, Fountain House. Now madness half shadows my soul with its wing, and makes it drunk with fiery wine and beckons towards the black ravine. And I finally realized that I must give in, overhearing myself raving as if it were somebody else. And it does not allow me to take anything of mine with me, no matter how I plead with it, no matter how I supplicate. Not the terrible eyes of my son, suffering turned to stone, not the day of the terror, not the hour I met with him in prison, not the sweet coolness of his hands, not the trembling shadow of the lindens, not the far-off fragile sound of the final words of consolation. May 4th, 1940, Fountain House. 10. Crucifixion. Do not weep for me, mother. I am in the grave. 1. A choir of angels sang the praises of that momentous hour, and the heavens dissolved in fire. To his father he said, Why hast thou forsaken me? And to his mother, Oh, do not weep for me. 1940, Fountain House. 2. Mary Magdalene beat her breast and sobbed. The beloved disciple turned to stone. But where the silent mother stood, there no one glanced, and no one would have dared. 1943, Tashkent. Epilogue 1. I learned how faces fall, how terror darts from under eyelids, how suffering traces lines off stiff uniform on cheeks, how locks of ashen blonde or black turn silver suddenly, smiles fade on submissive lips, and fear trembles in the dry laugh. And I prayed not for myself alone, but for all those who stood there with me, in cruel cold and in July's heat and that blind red wall. Epilogue 2. Once more the day of remembrance draws near. I see, I hear, I feel you. The one they almost had to drag at the end, and the one who tramps her native land no more, and the one who, tossing her beautiful head, said, Coming here's like coming home. I'd like to name them all by name, but the list has been confiscated and is nowhere to be found. I have woven a wide mantle for them, for their meager, overheard words. I will remember them always and everywhere. I will never forget them no matter what comes. And if they gag my exhausted mouth through which 100 million scream, then may the people remember me on the eve of my Remembrance Day. And if ever in this country they decide to erect a monument to me, I consent to that honor under these conditions, that it stand neither by the sea where I was born, my last tie with the sea is broken, nor in the Tsar's garden near the cherished pine stump, where the inconsolable shade looks for me, but here, where I stood for 300 hours, and where they never unbolted the doors for me. This, lest in blissful death I forget the rumbling of the Black Marias, forget how the detested door slammed shut, and an old woman howled like a wounded animal, and may the melting snow stream like tears from the motionless lids of bronze, and a prison dove coo in the distance. And the ships of the never sail calmly on. March 1940.